Welcome, everyone. Today, I am going to tell you something that could completely change your life. Not just your career, not just your dreams, but your entire mindset. We live in a world where people love to talk. They talk about what they're doing. They talk about what they're planning. They talk about their dreams, their goals, their future. But the more you talk, the less you do. The more you announce, the more you delay. The more you explain, the more they attack. And that is why the most powerful people in the world follow one rule: never share your plan. Not because your plan is wrong, not because your dream is too big, but because sharing it too early can destroy it before it even begins. This video will change your mindset and also improve your English. So watch till the end. And don't forget to subscribe. When a farmer plants a seed, he doesn't call the whole village to tell them, "Look, I just planted something. Come see. Come give your opinions." No, he covers it with soil. He waters it silently. He waits. He protects it from animals, from storms, from anyone who might harm it. And months later, only after it grows strong, people see the fruit. That's exactly how your plan should be. Because the moment you open your mouth, you open the door to doubt, opinions, jealousy, distraction, judgment, and even emotional pain. You don't need that. You're already carrying a dream, and that's heavy enough. If you want to protect your dream, stay silent. Now, let's begin with the first reason why you should never share your plan. Secret 1. Your plan is weak. When it's still an idea. Let me take you to the beginning, the moment a dream is born. It doesn't start big. It doesn't start powerful. It starts as a tiny thought in your mind, a soft whisper inside your heart. Something like, what if I started a business? What if I transformed my body? What if I learned English fluently and spoke confidently? What if I changed my entire life this year? It feels exciting, right? It feels alive. But let me tell you something shocking. In that moment, your idea is extremely weak. It's soft, it's small, it's not ready. And when you share it too early, you don't protect it. You expose it. You put that small, beautiful dream in front of people who don't believe in you, don't understand your journey, don't have your vision, don't have your fire, and worst of all, don't care. And suddenly, they say things like, "That's impossible. You're not smart enough. Be realistic. Come on, you can't do that. Who do you think you are?" They say those things casually, like they're giving advice. But for you, that's poison. It kills the seed before it even grows roots. You start doubting yourself. You start thinking, maybe I was just dreaming. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe they're right. But they're not right. They just didn't see what you saw. They didn't feel what you felt. Now listen carefully. Scientists have studied this. When you tell someone your plan, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. That means just talking about your dream gives you the same feeling as if you had already achieved something. You feel the reward without doing the work. You tell your plan, then you feel good. Then you stop working. Now you're stuck in a cycle of talking instead of a life of execution. You're chasing praise instead of chasing progress. Let's say someone says, "I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. every day and build my dream life." They post it on Instagram. They tell their friends. They feel proud. But what happens next? The motivation dies in 3 days. They don't wake up at 5 a.m. They don't build anything. And now they feel guilty, embarrassed, weak. Why? Because they shared the plan before they built the discipline. A plan is not strong because it sounds good. It's strong because you build it in silence. You feed it with discipline. You protect it from doubt. And you show it when it's ready, not when people expect it. Stop sharing your ideas with everyone. Stop explaining your dream to small minds. Stop giving away your fire to people who live in darkness. Keep it quiet. Keep it sacred. Keep it growing. Secret 2. People will judge your plan based on their own limits. People don't see your dream the way you see it. They don't feel your fire. They don't carry your hunger. They don't walk in your shoes. And they were never given your vision. But still, the moment you tell them your plan, they act like they know everything. You say, I want to start a business. I want to become a great speaker. I want to become fluent in English. I want to become financially free. I want to change my life this year. I want to be different. And what do they say? They laugh, they frown, they say, really? You? Be realistic. Don't dream too big. Come back to earth. Why do they say that? Is it because your plan is stupid? No. Is it because your goal is impossible? No. Is it because they want to protect you? No. Not always. They are not judging your plan. They are revealing their own limits. When you say, I want to do something great, they don't imagine you doing it. They imagine themselves trying and failing. So they say it's impossible. Because it would be impossible for them. They don't see your strength. They don't see your courage. They don't see your future. They only see your past. The mistakes you made, the things you failed at, the version of you that used to be weak. And they freeze your identity in that old version of you. So the moment you try to grow, they pull you back down, with words, with doubt, with silence, with fake smiles. You know what makes this even worse? Sometimes this judgment doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people you love. Your best friend, your boyfriend or girlfriend, your brother, your cousin, your parents. And when they don't believe in you, it hurts more than failure. Because you trusted them. Because you thought they would support you. Because you thought they knew you. But they didn't. They only knew the version of you that was comfortable. The version that was average. The version that didn't take risks. Now that you're trying to evolve, to grow, to go beyond the limits, they can't understand it. So instead of supporting you, they tell you to stop. And the worst part? If you're not strong enough, you will believe them. You will shrink yourself. You will play small. You will lock your dreams inside. You will pretend you never wanted more. All because someone else couldn't imagine it. Strong people don't explain. They don't argue. They don't convince. They don't beg for belief. They understand one thing. Other people's opinions are not your reality. You don't need permission. You don't need support. You don't need applause. You just need clarity, discipline, and silence. Because once you succeed, once you prove it, once you change your life, once you walk into the room glowing with success, purpose, power, the same people who doubted you will say, I always believed in you. I knew you could do it. You're lucky. They won't remember their own words, but you will. And that's why you must keep going quietly. Think of this. Imagine you're a bird learning to fly. You're just a beginner. Nervous, shaky, unsure. You flap your wings for the first time and you say, hey everyone, I'm going to fly. The other birds laugh. Don't be stupid, you'll fall. No one in your family ever flew. Stay on the ground. It's safer here. Now you have two choices. 1. Believe them. 2. Believe yourself. If you choose them, you'll never fly. If you choose you might fall. But eventually, you'll rise. And when you do, they'll stare at the sky and say, "How did you do that?" Your life is not a group discussion. Your dream is not a classroom debate. Your mission is not a community vote. It's yours. And that's why it must be protected from people who carry fear, not faith. From people who carry doubt, not belief. From people who can't see the vision because they never had one of their own. Let them think you're silent. Let them think you're lost. Let them think you're average. Because soon, when the results arrive, when your life glows differently, when your success walks into the room before you speak, they will understand everything. But by then, you won't need to explain. Your results will be louder than your story. Secret 3. Early praise will make you lazy. This secret looks harmless. It feels positive. It sounds encouraging. But in reality, early praise is one of the biggest dream killers in the world. Yes, not criticism, not failure, not haters. Praise. When you tell someone your plan and they say, "You're amazing. That's a great idea. I knew you could do it. You're going to be successful." It feels good. Very good. Your chest feels light. Your confidence rises. Your mind relaxes. And without realizing it, something dangerous happens inside your brain. Your brain does not know the difference between talking about success, actually achieving success. When you receive praise, your brain releases dopamine, the reward chemical. That dopamine is supposed to come after effort, after struggle, after discipline, after pain. But when praise comes before the work, your brain says, "I already won." And once the brain feels rewarded, it stops pushing. This is why people who talk a lot about their goals often do the least work. They already consumed the reward, without paying the price. Imagine two people. Person A. He says to everyone, "I will wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I will build a powerful body. I will change my life." People clap, people praise. People say, "So disciplined, so inspiring." What happens after 1 week? He wakes up late, he skips workouts, he loses motivation. Why? Because his brain already felt successful. Person B. He tells no one, no posts, no announcements, no explanations. He wakes up at 5 a.m. silently. He works out when no one is watching. He builds discipline when it's boring and painful. After 6 months, people say, "Wow, how did you change so much?" And person B smiles, because his reward came from results, not words. Because praise creates false confidence. False confidence is worse than no confidence. Why? Because no confidence makes you work. False confidence makes you relax. And growth never comes from comfort. Growth comes from pressure, from discipline, from repetition, from doing boring things when no one is cheering. Think about a student. Student A says, "I'm preparing for a big exam." Everyone says, "You're very smart. You'll definitely pass." The student feels relaxed. He studies less. He trusts praise more than preparation. Result? Failure. Student B studies quietly. No one knows how hard he works. No praise, no attention. Result? Success. The difference was not intelligence. It was silence. When people praise you too early, they start calling you successful, disciplined, hardworking. But you haven't become that person yet. So now you start protecting an image instead of building reality. You start pretending. You start performing. You start talking instead of doing the work. That is extremely dangerous because you cannot fake results. Sooner or later, reality exposes everything. Real winners follow a simple rule: never accept praise for work you haven't done yet. They don't want applause. They don't want validation. They don't want attention. They want progress. They understand something very deep. Silence keeps hunger alive. Praise kills hunger. And hunger is the fuel of greatness. When no one knows your plan, you don't feel pressure to impress. You don't feel relaxed by praise. You don't feel distracted by opinions. You only feel one thing: responsibility to yourself. And that responsibility builds discipline. Do not feed your ego with words. Feed your future with work. If you remember only one thing from this secret, remember this: talk gives pleasure. Work gives power. Choose power. If you want to change your life, stop telling people what you will do. Stop collecting praise for unfinished work. Stop letting words replace effort. Stay silent. Stay uncomfortable. Stay hungry. And one day, your results will speak so loudly that no praise will ever be needed. Secret 4. Jealousy is real, even from the people you love. You might think that when you share your dream with someone close to you, they will support you, encourage you, believe in you, celebrate you. But not everyone who loves you wants you to rise. Not everyone who smiles at you wants you to succeed. And not everyone who claps for you is truly happy for you. Sometimes, the biggest resistance doesn't come from strangers. It comes from people who know you, people who've been with you for years, people who watched you when you were weak, confused, and lost. And now that you're trying to become something greater, now that you're speaking differently, walking differently, thinking differently, planning differently, they feel something dangerous inside their heart: jealousy. But why? Why would someone close to me feel jealous? Because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Your discipline reminds them of their excuses. Your ambition reminds them of the dreams they gave up on. Your progress makes them feel like they are standing still. And it burns them, silently, secretly, painfully. Not because they hate you, but because they hate what you're becoming without them. Let's say you and your best friend both live ordinary lives. Same habits, same routine, same level of motivation, low. Then one day you wake up and decide, I want more. I'm going to improve myself. I'm going to change my life. You stop wasting time. You start waking up early. You stop complaining. You begin learning, reading, growing. At first, your best friend says, "Good job, that's inspiring." But slowly, the energy changes. They stop calling as much. They make jokes about you. They say, "Why are you acting so different?" They roll their eyes when you speak about your goals. You feel it, the silence, the distance, the invisible wall between you and them. It hurts. But you must understand, that's not your fault. That's their fear. They feel like they are losing you because you are rising and they are standing still. You must understand something deep about human behavior. Most people are not truly against your success, but they are against you becoming more successful than them. That's where jealousy lives, in the space between who you were and who you are becoming. If you stay the same, they will love you. But if you grow too much, you will make them uncomfortable. And when people feel uncomfortable, they try to pull you back to where they are. Not because they're evil, but because they're scared. Scared of being left behind. Scared of being exposed. Scared of seeing someone they know become something they're not. What they say versus what they mean. They say, "You've changed." What they mean, "You stopped being like me." They say, "Why are you so busy all the time?" What they mean, "Why aren't you wasting time with me anymore?" They say, "You think you're better now?" What they mean, "You're making me feel small. And if you're not careful, you'll start shrinking yourself to make others feel comfortable. You'll start hiding your progress, dimming your light, pretending you're not growing, just to protect other people's feelings." But here's what you must remember. You were not born to make others feel safe in their comfort zone. You were born to rise. So what should you do? Protect your energy. Protect your vision. Protect your plan. You don't have to cut people off immediately, but you must create distance between their fear and your future. Don't explain your goals to them. Don't argue. Don't try to prove yourself. Just build in silence. Let your work speak. Let your progress become undeniable. And when the time comes, when your life transforms, when your dreams become real, when your glow becomes too strong to hide, they will either respect you or remove themselves. Either way, you win. You thought everyone would support you. You thought your friends would cheer for you. You thought your family would clap when you took the first step. But now you know the truth. Not everyone is ready to see you win. And that's why your plan must remain hidden, silent, sacred. Let them guess what you're building. Let them wonder what you're doing. Let them talk behind your back. Because one day, they won't be able to ignore what you've built. Your silence will become your power. Your results will become your revenge. You don't need to prove anything to them. You just need to become so focused, so consistent, and so untouchable that their jealousy turns into respect. Secret 5. Talking steals your energy. Building creates it. Let's go deeper now. Let's talk about your most important resource. It's not your money. It's not your talent. It's not even your time. It's your energy. Energy is what fuels your discipline. Energy is what keeps your dream alive. Energy is what helps you stay focused, consistent, and patient. Every time you talk about your plan, you lose energy. Every time you work on your plan, you gain energy. When you share your plan with others, you're doing something strange. You're not just informing people. You're also transferring energy. Energy that was supposed to go into building. You give that energy away through long explanations, arguments, defending your dream, answering their doubts, seeking their approval, reacting to their reactions. At the end of the day, you feel drained, not because you worked, but because you talked too much. And talking never built anything. You can talk for hours about your goals and still remain stuck in the same place. Because words don't build dreams. Actions do. Imagine two builders. Builder A spends the whole day talking. "I'm going to build a big house. I'm going to use the best material. I'll finish it in 3 months. People are going to be amazed." But at the end of the day, he hasn't laid a single brick. Builder B says nothing. He picks up his tools. He works in the heat, he sweats, he struggles, he fails, he adjusts, he learns. At the end of the day, the sun sets, and a few bricks are standing. Not perfect, but real. Who made progress? Builder B, the silent one. That's how life works. Silence builds, talking drains, because it gives a short-term high. When you say something like, "I'm going to write a book," "I'm going to change my life," "I'm going to start a business," people nod. People encourage you. You feel like you're doing something already. But you're not. You're just imagining. And imagination without action becomes frustration. Talking gives the illusion of movement, but no real transformation. Your energy is sacred. Don't waste it on debates. Don't waste it trying to convince someone who will never understand your mission. Don't waste it trying to look successful. Just be successful. Every time you speak, ask yourself, is this helping me build? Or is this just helping me feel good temporarily? Real growth is built in silence, not in noise. The more you talk about your future, the less of it you'll actually create. Let that sink in. You don't need to talk. You need to act. You need to build. You need to preserve your energy like a soldier preserves his bullets. Because one shot, one moment of powerful action, is more valuable than 100 hours of empty words. Secret 6. The world only respects results. No one really cares about your plan. No one really cares about your dreams. No one really cares about your struggles. They care about one thing only. What did you build? The world doesn't give respect for potential. It gives respect for performance. You might have the best idea. You might have the deepest passion. You might have the strongest desire. But until it becomes real, until it becomes visible, until it becomes results, you are invisible. And that's why you must never share your plan too early. Because talking gives you a fake sense of recognition, but it doesn't give you real respect. Only results can do that, because they've seen too many. How many people say, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to lose 20 kilos. I'm going to become rich. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to learn English. But most of them never do it. They talk, they post, they share, but nothing changes. That's why the world has learned to ignore words and only believe results. If you keep announcing things but never show transformation, people will slowly stop listening. They'll start laughing. They'll stop believing. Not because they are evil, but because they've seen too many people talk and not enough people build. Let's say you've been telling everyone, I'm going to become fluent in English. Just wait. You tell your friends, you tell your classmates, you even post about it. But months go by and nothing changes. You're still scared to speak. You're not practicing. You're not studying. You're still stuck. Now when you speak about your dream, they roll their eyes. You feel embarrassed. You feel defeated. And now you don't even want to try anymore. Why did this happen? Because you shared the plan before doing the work. The people who truly succeed in life understand this. They don't speak too early. They don't need early recognition. They're not chasing attention. They're chasing real progress. So when they finally arrive, with a fit body, with a profitable business, with fluent English, with an unshakable mindset, with a powerful life, they don't have to say anything. The room changes when they walk in. The energy shifts. People listen. People ask. Because results demand attention. If you have to explain your plan, your results are not big enough yet. So keep working, keep improving, keep growing in silence. And one day your success will become so real and so clear, so powerful, that the same people who ignored your plan will want to know your strategy. They will ask, how did you do it? Teach me. And you'll smile, not with pride, but with peace. Because you'll finally understand. Silence gave you the power. Discipline gave you the growth. And results gave you the voice. You didn't need to speak. Because your life spoke louder than words. Secret 7. Your plan should surprise them, not involve them. Let's be honest. Most people don't deserve to know what you're building. Not because they are evil, not because they are bad, but because they're not ready. They don't have your mindset. They don't have your courage. They don't have your fire. And when you tell your plan to people who can't see what you see, you invite them into a story they were never meant to be part of. So what happens? They interrupt the process. They change the energy. They give opinions. They ask questions. They plant doubt. They don't help you build. They weigh you down. That's why you must understand this one golden rule. The best plans are not shared. They are revealed through transformation. Imagine this. You're planning something big. You want to change your life. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe it's your skill, your language, your mindset, your confidence. You're dreaming quietly, planning carefully, taking small steps. Now pause. At that moment, you have two choices. Option one, involve everyone. You say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to become that. I'm changing everything. People respond with, why? Are you sure? Who do you think you are? You always say this, but nothing changes. And now your energy is divided. Instead of building, you're defending. Instead of working, you're explaining. Instead of transforming, you're reacting. Your plan becomes their discussion. And slowly, it loses power. Option two, stay silent, build alone. You don't tell anyone. You don't seek applause. You don't announce your goals. You just wake up and build, alone, quietly, without asking for permission. 6 months later, your results show. You walk into a room and they stare. You speak and they feel the difference. You glow and they know something happened. But they can't explain it. Because they never saw it coming. That's the kind of power silence creates. There was a man who had been mocked his whole life. Poor, quiet, broken English, no support, no confidence. He didn't argue. He didn't post quotes. He didn't try to impress anyone. He just started working, morning to night, day after day. No excuses, no noise. He focused on English. He studied business. He trained his body. He built his mindset. For 18 months, he disappeared from the spotlight. And then one day, he launched his business. He walked on stage. He spoke fluently. He looked like someone they'd never seen before. The same people who doubted him sat in the front row, clapping. Not because he asked them to, but because they couldn't ignore him anymore. He didn't involve them in the plan. He surprised them with the result. Silence is not just about protection. It's about strategy. You're not hiding your plan. You're giving it time to grow stronger, deeper, sharper. Because when your plan is still small, it can be broken with one sentence, one opinion, one negative look. But when it's strong, it becomes bulletproof. You don't need to defend it. You don't need to explain it. You just reveal it and let the world adjust. Stop telling people what you're about to do. Start showing them what they never saw coming. Surprise them. Shock them. Silently, powerfully, unapologetically. Secret 8. God's plan doesn't need public approval. Now, this is the deepest one, the most emotional one, the one that reaches the heart and speaks to the soul. Because sometimes, you don't stay silent because of strategy. You don't stay silent because of fear. You stay silent because your journey is sacred. There's something inside you that only you and God understand. Maybe it's a dream no one else can see. Maybe it's a vision no one else supports. Maybe it's a change no one else believes in. And in that lonely moment, it's easy to doubt. It's easy to feel like maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe you're wasting your time. But here's what you must remember. If God gave you the vision, He will also give you the power to finish it. You don't need the world to agree. You don't need people to clap. You don't need validation. You only need one thing: faith. Faith that what you're building matters. Faith that your silence is not weakness, it's preparation. Faith that what's coming is bigger than anything they can imagine. Think of a seed in the soil. No one sees it. It looks like nothing is happening. It's covered in darkness. It's buried. It's invisible. But deep down, it's working, breaking, stretching, rooting, growing. That's you. Right now, no one sees you. No one understands what you're doing. No one respects your plan. But you're growing. And soon, you'll break through the surface, and they will say, "Where did this come from? How did this happen? I never saw this coming." Because they were watching the surface. But God was working underneath. Because your journey is personal. Because your calling is divine. Because your timing is different. Because your fire is not for public entertainment. God didn't give them the vision. He gave it to you. So stop expecting them to understand it. Stop needing them to approve it. Stop explaining what only your soul can feel. Protect the vision like it's holy. Because it is. They won't believe in you at first. They'll laugh. They'll doubt. They'll call you crazy. Let them. Stay silent. Keep working. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Because one day, when your dream becomes your reality, when your light shines too bright to ignore, when your strength becomes your story, they'll ask, "How did you do it?" And you'll look up and say, "I didn't do it alone. God did. And I never stopped believing." Never share your plan too early. Let silence be your strategy. Let discipline be your language. Let progress be your proof. Let God be your guide. This is your season to disappear, to grow, to build, to become, and to return with something the world cannot ignore. Not because you told them, but because you showed them. Let me tell you this, and listen very carefully. You don't have to tell them what you're doing. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to post about it. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to fight for attention. You just have to wake up, show up, work hard, pray silently, trust deeply, and build quietly. One day, your life will look completely different. Your energy will be different. Your face will shine with confidence. Your heart will feel at peace. And your success will be louder than your words ever were. People will ask, "Where have you been?" And you'll smile and say, "I was working, I was healing, I was growing, I was becoming everything they said I couldn't." This is not about revenge. This is about becoming so focused, so disciplined, so silent, so powerful that the world is forced to respect your growth. You don't need attention. You need transformation. You don't need noise. You need results. You don't need everyone's support. You only need your decision to keep going no matter what. So disappear if you must. Go silent. Go underground. Go all in. And when you return, you won't have to say a single word. Your results will say everything. If this video touched your heart, if it reminded you of your power, if it gave you the strength to work in silence and never give up, then subscribe right now. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a stronger version of you. More videos are coming, not just to motivate you, but to change your life. So subscribe now, turn on the bell, and remember this for the rest of your life. The most dangerous person in the world is the one who works in silence and lets success do all the talking. Your time is coming. Now go build.